Magical cleansing of ex-partners. I'm interested in how to cleanse the womb of ex-partners. Does it make sense to do this if I already have the number of children I want? It does make sense, colleague Natalia. It really does. Of course, this borders on mysticism, but it is no coincidence that the image of Venus appeared earlier in the questions we discussed today. A woman's womb holds many memories, and there are several ways to cleanse it. The simplest of these is to wait for the natural form of cleansing, menopause. When menopause begins, the cleansing can be considered complete. There is another cleansing mechanism, sexual abstinence for 9 years. But complete, absolute abstinence. This is a very effective method, although unfortunately, it is long and difficult to carry out, but it is very effective. There are fasting systems that cleanse the blood. Fasting combined with informational work in meditative practices, that is, cleansing oneself through inner work, can also be used. Magical practices involving the elements, such as immersion in earth or water, working directly with the elemental forces, are also a lengthy process. Elemental cleansing takes slightly less time than the usual natural cleansing through 7 years of abstinence, but even then, abstinence must be maintained. A woman's womb remembers much. It particularly remembers her first partner and the men with whom she had children. It does not forget any of this. If you understand that your magic requires ritual purity, then use one of these methods. Usually these cleansings are done under the guidance of a mentor, or more precisely, a female mentor, because this is purely feminine magic. And this is the domain of the goddess Artemis, if we refer to the Greek pantheon. She was a virgin goddess, the sister of Apollo, who also stood for ritual purity. It is under the guidance of Artemis that ritual actions and mechanisms relating to certain sacrifices and the performance of specific rituals, including elements of offering and service to the goddess, are carried out. To gain more clarity in this regard, you would need to consult the initiated priestesses of Artemis and other virgin goddesses. So gather information if this is something that interests you. Gather information on all the virgin goddesses. There is the Roman Vesta, the Greek Hestia, and of course Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, also known as Diana in the Roman cult, and later in Aradia, or the Gospel of the Witches, the so-called Witches' Bible. But of course, when Artemis became Diana, the idea of virginity was no longer central. Diana became the goddess of fertile nature, which meant that virginity no longer seemed to align with her. But your task is not to restore virginity, rather it is to restore magical purity, obviously in preparation for more serious magical transitions. And this is where abstinence rituals will be of great help to you. At least in today's social conditions, this is by far the most effective method. If you find another one, that would be good, but believe me, for the sake of magic, 7 or 9 years isn't that long.